Can divers get the twisties? This is something that's been talked a lot about with gymnastics, but do divers experience this? To answer that question, 100% yes, except I've never called it the twisties, I've called it getting lost in my dive. Just like gymnastics, diving is a sport that relies heavily on aerial awareness. For most divers, they're using a mixture of visual cues and feeling where they're at in their dive. When I was a younger diver, I didn't use visual cues at all. I went solely by feel. I used to close my eyes in my dive, and then I would open them once I released from the dive to try to find the water. There would be a lot of times where I would miscalculate the timing of my come out and I would smack flat on my back or flat on my stomach, but I wouldn't necessarily say I would get lost in the dive. As I got older, I started to introduce visual cues to help with my consistency in my dives. But since I was so used to feeling my dives rather than seeing where I was at in my flips, this started to mess with my senses a little bit. And that's when this happened. While doing a front 4.5 tuck, I was trying to see the water every time I did a flip, but I was getting messed up with the lighting at this pool, and I actually didn't know where the water was. And when you're doing an acrobatic sport like gymnastics or diving, it's not as simple as just going up and trying again. I fell 30 feet flat on my back, I ended up in an ambulance, and was not able to dive for a couple days. The way I was able to overcome getting lost in this dive and do the dive again was by removing visual cues and going back to relying solely on the feel. So yes, divers can get the twisties just like gymnasts.